This is the BMW i3 that we've had for 1 year now, courtesy of EVision. And sadly, today we say goodbye to it, and we're going to swap it for something else. What's that going to be? Stay tuned and find out. Obviously, this video is sponsored by EVision Electric Vehicles, the UK's first and largest all-electric vehicle hire company. I've used EVision loads of times before, even a Tesla Model S many years ago. That was my first car that I hired with them. They're fantastic, and that's why I'm very happy to continue my partnership with them. So, what are we going to get instead of this? I think it's a good one. I'm quite pleased with it, and I look forward to hearing what you think. But let's walk around this very dirty i3. I really should have cleaned it. Birds have splattered all over it this morning, so I've just wiped it off, which is why it's very smeary. I still love the look of it. I still look at this and smile every time I see it. It looks different, and my wife would agree. It's just nice to see something that's unique driving around, because most cars, let's be honest, look exactly the same, don't they?
What's that? God knows. What's that? What's that? What's
what
that?
Do you mean, what's that? God knows.
What's that?
I don't think that's a Golf.
What's this? BMW i3. Lady, I remember the names of the ones that look a bit different.
Yeah.
But it's just all of them look the same.
This is interesting, it's unique, I love it. And what's amazing about this is it's carbon fibre. So BMW really went to town with it. It made it very light, which also makes it efficient, which makes it cheaper to run. Expensive to fix, but cheaper to run. Firstly, let's just look at the boot. It's a pretty small boot really, but I mean, I've obviously done the shopping in it. I even bought some soil recently and stuck it in there. So it's fine. It's not the most practical boot, but for a small car, it's not too bad. Here's the absolutely fantastic interior, which I just love. There's so much glass here, very dirty glass. And in fact, if I just turn it on, and turn off the squealing. Look how big these wipers are. They're like bus wipers. They're absolutely brilliant. I find the driving position fantastic because you're actually quite high up. You've got all of this space around you, and it's just a lovely open feeling cabin. And my wife and daughter love this car in the front. In the back it's a different story, but in the front they love it. Okay, so the i3 is going back. What do you like about it?
Well, at the front it's very open, so I don't feel like claustrophobic at all when I look on the road.
The screen is all the way over there, and it's not a touch screen. You have to use this, which I'll be honest, I really don't like. Touch screens can drive me crazy sometimes, and I do moan about them a lot, but I just find that really annoying. I find myself looking at the screen just to work out what I'm selecting. Obviously you can use voice commands in CarPlay if you want to, but really it's just using that little thing I really don't like. I haven't got used to it in the year that I've had it. It kind of drives me crazy. But you know, I know other people that maybe get used to it, but I just don't. The infotainment in general, I just find it a bit clunky with this thing. You've got a little bit of storage there, and then that lifts up. You've got one USB-A. Now, I like having all these physical buttons. You know, that's all good, I think. Although, I mean, I never use these buttons up here for changing the radio station or whatever that's for. Don't know if I've ever used that. You do have heated seats in this one. No heated steering wheel, which is a bit bad in winter. Also, an annoying thing is you can't skip tracks when you're using CarPlay. I haven't worked out how to anyway. Another thing that I don't like, and I want this to be a positive review, I suppose, because I do love it. I love this car, but I'm also finding a lot of faults about it, and that's the weird thing. Many cars, I struggle to find fault. This, I find it quite easy to find faults, but it's so good in so many other ways that I just forgive it for all of that. Anyway, just a little thing, but it drives me a bit crazy. When you open the door, you don't really have anywhere to grab onto, and apart from up there, and I find it a bit unnatural doing that. Anyway, by the way, you know a lot of cars these days have a button to get out. This doesn't. This has a physical handle, which I like, but a lot of people say that you need the button for frameless windows, otherwise it causes problems with the seal. Well, this has a normal handle, and it still manages. Anyway, that's just me moaning. The seat are pretty kind of thin seats, and they're not massively comfortable, but I have done relatively long journeys in it, and it's fine, but they're not the most comfortable seats. But it does feel very sporty. Now, the weird thing about the i3 is really when it comes to the back. Let's turn it off, otherwise it just beeps so much. So you can't get in the back there without opening it from there. Now, I didn't plan this in terms of how I position the cars, but that's a bit impractical. Because if you're close to another car in a car park or something, it really makes it a struggle to get out of this car if you've got people at the back. Okay, first we have to close this door. Okay. And that's unfortunate. But if I get back just behind me, I say behind me, behind my driving position, although you've got a light headliner, which is good, it's great. I mean, that makes it feel a little bit more open. I have very little legroom. And although it's fairly open in here, my daughter finds it quite claustrophobic once the door's closed. But I'm not going to be able to get out. I'm not going to do that, am I? She finds it quite claustrophobic. So you like sitting in the front of it, but you're not keen on the back?
I hate the back, because then the people at the front might take a long time to open their doors, and you're like, okay, hurry up, I need to get out. Then, because you have to open the front doors to get to the back doors. And also it's really claustrophobic and tiny. But on the front it's nice because it looks like a little go-kart.
Yeah, it feels like a little go-kart.
Yeah.
It's not the most practical car because of that, really. I've put my luggage in the back here, and I'm parked next to another car. I have to open this to get my luggage out. I just don't have much room. I mean, it's a miracle I did that without scratching this car here. So obviously I've got quite a few little niggly kind of negatives to this, but it's so fun to drive. It's nice and small. It's got a lovely driving position, feels so open in there. It's really efficient, 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour, average efficiency over the year that we've had it. So it makes it incredibly cheap to run. And yeah, I mean, it's not had a fault. It's been brilliant. Really, we love it.
I love the BMW i3. It's the best car.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like being in a, it's like in a, almost like a cable car that is glass and you see all around in the mountains.
Yeah.
It's those futuristic, that's how I feel. I love it.
Okay, I've got to take it to EVision, so let's go. One of the surprising things for a car as old as this, really, or relatively old as this, is that it's wireless CarPlay. So we've just done 1,663 miles in it over a year since we've had it. So clearly we don't drive it much. And that is just because, to be honest, the Kia e-Niro that we've got is so good that we just tend to get in that automatically all the time. So that's the main reason. This has just been a second car for us.
So what happens tomorrow?
I wanted to film your thoughts on the i3. Can we somehow do it, like first thing in the morning or something?
Why 3?
The BMW that's going back. Because I wanted to get your final thoughts, because we've had it for a year. Anyway, so
we used it 3 times.
Yeah, that's why it's called i3. I'm taking it to EVision, and then I'm getting another car. The car has, on average, since it's been bought, you know, it's 4 miles per kilowatt hour on average, which is pretty good, really. But it's been 4.3 for us. Typically, CarPlay has decided to stop working, so I'm just going to try and do the sat-nav, the inbuilt sat-nav, to get to EVision. So let's see if this works. Quick search. I mean, it's just... See, that's going to take ages, isn't it? Navigate to EVision Electric Vehicles.
EVision Electric Vehicles Rochester. Say yes, or select another entry.
Okay. Route fast, all good. Where's it going to take me? Up that way. Now, one other thing that drives me crazy with this car is that there's no battery percentage, and I love to see a battery percentage. I just stopped to take a picture of the car, and now CarPlay's working again, so that's all good. I do much prefer using Apple Maps, really, over pretty much any mapping inbuilt car mapping system. As I was saying earlier about cars all looking the same, I also feel like cars all pretty much drive the same. It's really difficult when I review any EV trying to come up with anything that's slightly interesting or quirky about a car, because there just isn't anything. They're all good to drive, really. Obviously, driving dynamics change a little bit, but not that much in most cars. This, however, this is just mad. I mean, I said when I picked it up, it's like driving a go-kart, and I still feel that. Even though someone said, have you ever driven a go-kart, Andrew? Well, yeah, I have. I have driven a go-kart, and it's like this. It's fun. You get very, very strong regenerative braking in this, so you don't have to use the brake pedal very much, which gives it even more of a go-kart feel, especially as, when you put your foot down, it goes like a rocket, this car. And it's wonderfully addictive. You zoom around town, you take off at traffic lights, you zoom around little country roads. Now, the problem with this has such thin tyres on it. And it makes it very efficient, but it doesn't make it the best ride ever. So it's pretty jittery. If you go over a wet drain cover, for instance, then it will slip. Any bump, you really feel it. What I don't get from this car in terms of driving style is I don't find it's very refined. And that's partly because it's quite a noisy cabin, especially if you go over a bumpy rubbish road. If you go over the stretch of motorway in the south of England, the M25, it goes for any car. It sounds awful, but in this, it really is almost deafening. However, does it matter? Because when you drive this car, you smile like an idiot because it is so much fun to throw around corners and just speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, just as you need to. It's just incredibly responsive. It will make your passengers throw up if you enjoy it as much as I do. Do you have any issues with it though?
Of course, it's a bit rough around the edges. But, the driving position, I'm high. I can see look at this. Look at this. This is a submarine that is 100 years older than the BMW i3. I'm completely in the dark. That's completely open, massive. Everybody, even Aurelia was agreeing that she can see everything.
Yeah, she loves the i3. I mean, she doesn't like sitting in the back. That's the problem with the i3.
Yeah.
Is it in the front, it's wonderful. In the back, it's a bit claustrophobic.
It's really a two-seat car with an occasional... two people more to sit at the back. It's like this one, occasional 7-seater, that's an occasional 4-seater.
It's just, it's better than that.
No,
that's a bit unfair. But because you don't have a door at the back that you can open, the driver has to open it's a bit impractical.
It's like old times, My mother used to have an Ypsilon, I think. Ypsilon?
What, Lancia, yeah.
Yeah, and you could only open it from the driver's side. It's so annoying.
Yeah. It's so much fun. The acceleration is incredibly good. It's a little rocket, this thing. When I talk about all the various issues I have with the car, some of them bigger than others, the fact that you can't get in the back without opening the front door is kind of annoying, and that's a real tangible thing that a lot of people are going to find irritating about this car. But as a car, you just get in and drive, and it's pretty simple, really. There's no irritating ADAS features in this, of course, because it's at that wonderful age of EVs where they didn't have to put in all of that crap. So although it beeps at you if you leave the car on when you exit, it's kind of annoying. It doesn't beep because of speed limits and things like that, which is what I have a problem with in all modern cars. So this doesn't have that. So there's a sort of an honest simplicity about this car that I really love. This car has so much charm, and I think that's why so many people like them. But it's great just to have a small, nippy, interesting car, a unique car like this. A lot of petrol heads say they don't want an EV because EVs lack soul, which I don't agree with, because, I don't think a petrol engine has soul either, right? It just makes noises. But anyway, we can argue that. But I feel like soul and emotion isn't down to the powertrain. I think it's down to just how you feel when you drive it and how it looks on both on the inside and the outside. If you're proud to get in it, if it's interesting. And this ticks all of those boxes. This has a bit of soul. This is an interesting, unique car. This I smile when I drive it. So for any petrol heads out there that are just unsure about the whole EV thing, then I would just say to give one of these a try, because it's just superb. I think what put a lot of people off is probably the cost of it initially, because it cost a fortune for a relatively low range. So that's understandable. But a higher one, maybe a higher one from EVision, even just for a day or something, if you haven't driven an electric car before, because I think you would love it. So what do I not love in terms of driving it? Not much, other than the fact that it is a bit, noisy and bumpy. The other thing I don't love too much are the indicators, because they're the kind of soft touch indicators where I just never really get used to it. If you want to indicate left, you press it down left, and then to cancel the indicator, you've got to press down left again, which people had to tell me because I didn't realise that. So I don't like that. I like proper indicators that you just put down and then they stay down. It obviously does cancel itself when you go around a corner if it knows that you've turned properly, but it doesn't always know, does it? So we've had this car for a year, and it's longer than any other car we've had from EVision. In terms of the process, obviously at some point during the year it's going to need to be serviced or perhaps an MOT. And what happens is they contact you and ask where's the most convenient place for you to go with it, which obviously they pay for because servicing is all included in the rental cost. So that's how that works. It's all very easy, really. So I'm almost at EVision. I'm really going to miss this car. I think you can probably guess that from this video. There's a width restriction here. This is the perfect car for a width restriction. Good luck getting through here with anything big. Oh, there goes an Ioniq 5. So here we are, EVision. By the way, the reversing camera, which I should have mentioned before, the reversing camera is pretty good. 1,714 miles in total. And this is where we say goodbye to the i3. So from the BMW i3, we go to the MG5. Now the MG5 is notable for being the first estate car, first EV estate car, but they don't actually make it anymore, weirdly. I'm not sure whether they're going to replace it with something, but as you can see, this is the facelift one. The first MG5 that came out was not the most attractive car. It was ugly as sin, I think, but the facelift looks a lot better, I think. So what you get is you get a pretty good long-range practical EV with, of course, a big boot, because it's an estate. So here's the inside, and actually gives me E-Niro vibes with the dial there for changing the gear. Nice little silvery blue highlights here. Looks like there's plenty of room in the back. Got nice little fabric touches there. Let's have a look at the boot, if I can work out how to open it. There we go. And a lovely big boot. And there's that little area down there. That looks like that's the charging cable there. Now, the MG5 has been around for a while. I haven't actually driven one yet, amazingly. I've sat in one while I've been driven around. In fact, I did that at Fully Charged show years ago, and I did a video about some people trying an EV for the first time, and they tried an MG5 and they loved it.
So let's just try that acceleration.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I was actually really impressed with the feel of it just inside.
The build quality for the money is really good, and I'm sold.
Cleveland EV, they do mobile servicing. I've used them a few times. They've got MG5s and they love them, and they just last ages as a proper good workhorse. So I'm really excited about having this for a year. So the MG5 was pretty simple in terms of trim levels. You just had two, I think. This is the trophy, so this is the top spec one. It's got a 61 kilowatt hour battery, and I think the range should be about 270 miles, I think, as a sort of a real world range. Although Della from EVision was just telling me that it's showing 300 and something at the moment. By the way, just while I'm here, just have a look at the other cars they've got available at EVision. Lovely Ioniq 5, I do love them. Got e-Transits. This absolute beast is the Ford F-150 Lightning. Look at it. It's enormous. And then loads and loads of Teslas. You've got a lovely Porsche Taycan there. I-Paces, Mercedes, what is that, EQB? I'll come back another time and I'll do a proper video. So we've got a couple of USB-A down there. So I'm going to do CarPlay. Here we have the infotainment system, which, I don't know, seems a little bit laggy. It has got inbuilt navigation, but I'm not going to use that yet. I'm going to use CarPlay for the moment. You've got all of the modes you can change here. So Eco, Comfort and Sport. I'm going to leave it in Comfort. And then it's KERS. God knows what KERS stands for, but that seems to be the regen level. So I'm going to put it in 3. Can you see next to Comfort? It's quite comfortable in here, I think. So it has creep, but you can turn on auto hold just down here. That's on. Difficult to tell, actually. So if you turn on auto hold, then when it comes to a stop, it stops moving, of course. Very loud indicator. And just here, I'm just going to park up here just to show you. So come and have a look at this. EVision now have their own rapid charger. It's called Zap Go. They've got 3 of these around the country now. What's really cool about this is it's only 49 pence per kilowatt hour. I hope they put many more all over the country. So my initial driving impressions are that it has quite flimsy steering, I think, but absolutely fine. I mean, comfortable enough. It feels like I've got a bit of power there if I need it. And this is just in comfort mode. I'm gonna stick it into sport. So if I go to mode here and go to sport, sport mode feels much more responsive. This is 7.7 seconds to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. So pretty similar to my e-Niro actually. So it's got a 115 kilowatt motor. That gives you 280 Newton meters of torque and 156 PS. There is quite a lot of wind noise from the side mirror here, or from the A-pillar in the side mirror, I can't quite tell, but anyway, quite a lot of wind noise. I've raised the seat up a little bit. The driving position's very good. You've got plenty of glass at the front. Visibility seems very good. Something that is a bit weird is the screen has dimmed. Now I've turned the lights on, which I suppose makes sense in that it thinks that it's nighttime maybe, but I turned the lights on because the weather is terrible. But then the screen dims, which means I can't really see the map quite as well as I could. Maybe other cars do that and I've just never noticed it. So let's go back to auto. Now it's better. Okay, so we're going to do the music test as always. Play Leftism. There is quite a lot of road noise, so I'm going to have to put it up quite a lot, I think, to hear almost at maximum volume. The audio quality is not great, especially as I've got to put it up so high just to fight the road noise. I mean, what I would really love to do, I would love to put this on some premium tyres, just to see what difference it makes. Roads like this, which wasn't too bad in the i3, it's a little bit worse in this car, even though this actually isn't too wide or anything. But roads like this are terrible. And there should just be a way in the sat-nav of just avoiding rubbish roads. If it doesn't have 2 lanes, then I don't want to know. This is a problem with British roads, you know? And it sends you down these roads to try and save time, but you don't save any time if there are cars coming the other way. It's a bit of a gamble. Lovely weather. So back home with 74% battery, 196 miles, nowhere close to that 300-mile range that it started off with, but that was to be expected, really. So 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour. I was driving quite spirited on the way back, but still, I think I would have expected a bit more, to be honest. The MG5 was very popular because it was so cheap when new. So you could get a long-range EV that did the job at a pretty good spec. I'm really looking forward to having this for a year to see what it's like. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what my wife and daughter think, but maybe I'll save that for the next episode. So we're getting an MG5.
What's that? What brand is that?
MG. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode, and thank you enormously, of course, to EVision for sponsoring the channel for another year. And I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.